They never thought the truth would come out. They counted on silence, on shadows, on no one paying attention. But you did. You stayed true when it was easier to walk away. And now, finally, what was once hidden is undeniable. The camera caught it all. The proof is real. The story is changing. And you are part of that change. This isn't just about setting the record straight. This is about standing up when it matters, about showing the world that truth doesn't stay buried forever. You're not just a spectator. You're the reason the truth is louder than the lies. This moment belongs to everyone who refused to stay silent, everyone who believed even when no one else did. Now it's time to show them what happens when the right side of the story finally has a voice. There is raw footage, and it has all been viewed by someone. The force of lightning striking dry ground brought this revelation. When they saw what really occurred to you, the manipulation, the violation, the deliberate destruction of your character, their whole world fell apart. The truth hit them like an anvil on the chest, causing their hands to shake and their breath to catch. They are no longer able to breathe normally. The rumors that they disseminated about you were carefully planned, carefully crafted works of architectural devastation. There was no amusement in the casual whispers that were exchanged between bored lips. Don't just watch, be part of the journey. Hit subscribe now and step into your purpose. The best is yet to come. These charges were crudely crafted weapons made in the furnace of hatred, intended to destroy your reputation, cut off your relationships, and keep you apart from people who could have shielded you. They had so much persuasive power that even people who professed to love you couldn't ignore them. Even your closest allies would pause and ponder at the allegations, which had just enough believability and just enough truth mixed with poison to make them palatable. This campaign against you is based on calculated calculations that would frighten average people. You are not a typical person. At this point, the individual who found this proof is drowning in their own regret. Their thoughts relive every instance in which they disregarded the peaceful understanding in their stomach in favor of other voices. They have metal-like tongues from the disease of betrayal, their betrayal of you. With heartbreaking clarity, they can now see how they disregarded their instincts when they hinted at your innocence. They opted to immerse themselves in the vile waters of gossip instead, sipping from cups that were passed to them by people who had poison in their veins. Given how furiously the red flags concerning your accusers flew in front of their eyes, their blindness today seems unfathomable. The contradictions, the contradictory tales, and the shining contentment ill-concealed behind fictitious worry spoke forth with red urgency. But they deliberately choose to be deaf. Now, the sirens never stop wailing inside their skulls. Everything in the path of truth is illuminated. You are the target of jealousy that burns so fiercely that it can no longer conceal itself under guises of righteousness or worry. Your light, that natural brilliance you exude, set these others on a desperate and primordial path. Others assumed the ideas were their own initial misgivings because they so deftly sowed doubtful seeds. Through contextual manipulation and selective editing, they altered your past. In order to convince people that this fake was the real thing, they made a fake version of you. The psychological framework necessary for such deception exposes their fear of your authority, as well as their resolve. It was your response that showed your genuine cosmic signature while the storm raged around you. They expected revenge, but you chose elevation. It was in divine strategy that you entered the hallowed realm of isolation, not in defeat. They anticipated you to be destroyed, but you engaged in deep healing. You concentrated on being stronger as they waited for you to break. You gave yourself the respect, honesty, safety, and sustenance that you so well deserve. When these needs were momentarily not met by the outside world, your decision to honor yourself when others dishonored you is evidence of your unshakable bond with the source of energy. The fact that your essence has been preserved in spite of the cyclone that is encircling you validates your divine appointment. What your critics didn't see was that their rejection made place for your rebirth, and their absence allowed you to grow. Your spiritual muscles grew stronger as a result of their forced independence than comfort ever could have. You turned their poison into a remedy. Their devastation was transformed into creation by you. You used their animosity as motivation to rise to power. Even though you are physically apart, you have been carried in the consciousness of the one who now knows the truth. They have been looking at your photos that they have covertly kept, according to the transcript. Every time they tried to forget, your essence followed them around. Their faces were in front of them everywhere they looked. Your presence became unavoidable in their thoughts. They were unable to stop the reverberation of your memories. They tried to fill your mind with distractions. It was their goal to hide your influence behind new contacts. They attempted to persuade themselves that anything could fill the gap you left, but nothing could ever fully replace the genuine bond you two had. The yearning for your particular brightness could not be satiated by anything that could duplicate the distinct frequency of your combined energies. They've arrived at their final case-closed moment after a rigorous investigation, conversation reviews, pattern analysis, evidence collection, and ultimately, access to the real tape. There is no question that the enigma has been solved. The puzzle pieces have locked into place, displaying the entire image with startling clarity. The flaws within the architecture of falsehoods have caused it to collapse. The contrivance of truth has shattered the fabricated reality. You were telling the truth all along, and the meticulously crafted story about you has been revealed to be a work of fiction crafted by envious hands. They have experienced a tremendous awakening as a result of this realization. A simple apology is insufficient to convey the extent of their failure to you. The weight of their treachery is too great for conventional displays of grief to offset. The magnitude of the wound that conventional attempts to reconciliation helped cause makes them seem insultingly inadequate. Chosen ones, the instant you broke with the system, the moment you stopped eating their poisons, the moment you stopped thinking like a slave in a game that had been rigged, something in your DNA altered. It was sensed by your lineage. It was felt by your forefathers. For ages, Archons feared you as the mutation. Our hidden discord is kept alive behind the scenes by channelings, revelations, and sacred codes sent between those who have memories of Lemuria, Atlantis, and past incarnations. Additionally, you will obtain the current manifestation mechanics, a field manual for reconstructing reality itself rather than simply creating trinkets. Only those who have already started to awaken their DNA can benefit from this encoded book. The resonance you're experiencing right now isn't a coincidence. Rather, it's a frequency lock. There is life in the order. The genuine ones are inside already, and it's growing. In order to enter the collective mutation, click the link in the details below. Their spirit has become aware of a cosmic necessity. I must make up for it to you. This is a profound spiritual realization of karmic law rather than just a way to absolve guilt. They firmly believe that unless they make amends with you, their karma will remain unbalanced. The cosmos itself holds them responsible for repairing the harm caused by their involvement, or lack thereof. They're working on a strategy that goes beyond simple reparations. They're getting ready to go above and beyond what you may anticipate. Clearing their conscience isn't the only goal here. It has to do with upholding the divine agreement that they broke by refusing to stand for your truth. Their deeds will reveal the breadth of their enlightenment through real, significant healing. Where action is required by cosmic law, words alone are insufficient. The consequences go beyond your main accusers. The people who watched your character being assassinated in silence now have to confront their own spiritual consequences. The cosmic spotlight now shifts to those who knew you weren't like that, yet didn't defend you when it was needed. According to universal justice, these onlookers who decided to keep their luxury at the expense of your pain are equally at fault. They betrayed you just as much by being silent when you needed their support as by actively participating. Their decision to remain neutral in the face of injustice was equivalent to siding with your oppressors. Their inaction implicitly sanctioned your abuse. The transcript attests to this cosmic reality. Even if they were a standby and did nothing to assist you, they are also receiving karma. All players, whether active or passive, must maintain balance according to the universal scales. Now, when these onlookers wake up in the middle of the night, their dreams are disturbed by the things they should have done but didn't, and the things they could have spoken but didn't. Speaking would have required them to swallow words of courage, and they are starting to realize that the cost of their comfort was too high. This insight will only grow stronger unless they also make the necessary corrections for their spiritual neglect. On cosmic time, you receive your heavenly vindication. This revelation's timing validates that you are protected by powers that are beyond our normal understanding. You can no longer deny what others fail to notice in your unique personality. After completing its revolution, the Wheel of Fate has arrived exactly where the universal design called for it to. This moment gives more than just the delight of being correct. It confirms your divine purpose and protection. Your ability to endure the storm was exactly what set you up for a rise that your critics can only see from below. The difference between your former self and the person you have become as a result of this crucible is evidence of your unbreakable bond with the Source. You may now see the fresh starts that the transcript promised. Doors that have been sealed open effortlessly. What were once denied opportunities now come in plenty. Relationships that were previously broken come back together more clearly and strongly. Once difficult to access, the global flow now flows through you with effortless strength. Forces functioning on your behalf have methodically removed the obstacles they erected. The walls they built are now nothing more than cosmic dust. They have rebuilt the reputation they tried to ruin with more force and authenticity than before. They have turned what they intended to destroy you into the cornerstone of your restoration. Don't just watch, be part of the journey. Hit subscribe now and step into your purpose. The best is yet to come. Keep this in mind as you proceed. The universe needed this proof to surface. It was cosmically required that you be vindicated, not voluntary or coincidental. Your truth has a vibration that is essential for a communal awakening, so it could not stay hidden. In this pivotal evolutionary moment, your experience contributes to a broader pattern of light triumphing over darkness, which goes beyond personal justice. Unless they gain the right to be nearer to you by genuine atonement, those who deceived you will still be able to observe your rise from a distance. With each affirmation of your divine assignment, their remorse will grow in proportion to the proof of your success, and their comprehension of the scope of their error will deepen. The individual who found the evidence is especially affected by this reality. Their spirit is aware of the spiritual opportunity that true atonement presents, and their soul is aware of the cosmic significance of their failure toward you. The possibility of mutual elevation, if reconciliation takes place with the right energy, is understood by their higher self. Now, with altered consciousness, they come toward you. Along with proof of your truth, they also bring proof of their own spiritual development. Instead of coming looking for quick forgiveness to ease their suffering, they come with evidence of their true awareness. They show up ready to gain trust by acting consistently and in accordance with their newly acquired knowledge, rather than requesting it right away. Whatever you do is still completely within your sovereign power. Your boundaries are unaffected by change. Regardless of their impatience, your prerequisites for re-establishing connection remain reasonable, and your deadline for trust remains legitimate. Irrespective of their desire for closure, your recovery process is worthy of complete respect. In this case, the same cosmic powers that kept your truth intact have kept your power intact. You have spiritual authority and possess the discernment energy that will decide what the best course of action is. You have the discernment to manage this reconciliation within reasonable bounds, exhibiting the harmony of self-defense and compassionateness required for this cosmic intersection. The violation you encountered was genuine. The video demonstrates that your perspective is correct and that your assertions are true. Despite mass denial, deception, and gaslighting, the truth you upheld is undeniably validated. Indisputable evidence has validated your inner knowledge, your persistent witness, and your unreserved claim to your experience. This affirmation affirms your entire perspective on reality, not just your particular assertions about what happened. It validates your capacity to stay grounded in real knowledge in the face of outside pressure to believe produced narratives. It validates your ability to distinguish truth from falsity, even in the face of distortion. No matter how many voices try to break that link, it proves your indestructible bond with divine truth. Think about what you can learn about your spiritual makeup from this discovery. Your inner compass was still set to truth, even when others were lost in the mist of deceit. You stayed true to your true perspective, while others gave up their intuition in favor of the universal illusion. Others gave up their integrity in order to gain acceptability, but you preferred short-term seclusion to long-term alienation from your inner wisdom. It is impossible to produce, buy, or teach these attributes. As inherent components of your divine design, these spiritual abilities validate your part in the greater awakening taking place on Earth. In an era of growing deceit, they confirm your appointment as a messenger of truth. The individual who is coming to you with proof now has a clearer understanding of this component of your character and can see parts of your spiritual composition that were previously hidden from their narrow perspective. They are aware of the characteristics that make you a target for others with lower frequencies. They understand that the assault on you was, in the end, an assault on the truth itself, a truth you represented all too often for those who were bent on dishonesty. This knowledge makes them more determined to repair the damage. Their resolve to right this wrong arises from a spiritual understanding of cosmic law, which goes beyond simple social duty. Their steadfast pursuit of suitable reconciliation is rooted in their profound comprehension of divine justice. Their method, which involves delivering the video that validates your experience together with evidence of your breach, has a spirit that is essentially distinct from a shallow apology or social damage management. Their revelation fulfills your divine purpose, and their acknowledgement of your truth advances your cosmic appointment and your spiritual mission. The following course of events will unfold in divinely perfect timing. The conflict between deceit and truth will materialize precisely as it should in order to maximize awakening. The people who planned the assassination of your reputation will be exposed in the exact manner needed for full vindication. As intended for reciprocal elevation, the reconciliation with people deserving of second chances will evolve. It is still your simple, yet profound role to stand in your true self, to keep the boundaries that shield your sacred energy, to trust the discernment that has led you correctly in the face of outside confusion, and to let the universal forces that have kept your truth intact now administer the proper justice through circumstances that have been divinely orchestrated. They have examined the video. They have collected the evidence. The veracity of the matter has been verified. Not a second too soon or too late, but just when the cosmic plan called for it to be revealed, your vindication comes. What was whispered now becomes shouted from rooftops. What was denied now becomes indisputable. What was concealed now stands exposed. Beyond only being validated, this procedure elevates your spiritual authority and validates your truth. This crucible has strengthened your position as a truth bearer. Through this distortion, your appointment as a frequency holder has been validated, and through this darkness, your ability to carry light has been reinforced. You have always had the support of universal powers. You have always been remembered by the cosmic design. You have always been a part of the divine plan. Your temporary seclusion served as protection rather than punishment, establishing a hallowed environment for the metamorphosis necessary before this vindication could fulfill its most important function. Stand tall now with the strength of this affirmation. Leverage the strength of this affirmation to move forward. Communicate with the authority of someone whose veracity has been cosmically upheld, and act with the assurance of someone whose spiritual insight has been confirmed by everyone. The person who found this proof comes forward with a new level of awareness. They come bearing testimony of their awakening as well as evidence of your veracity. They show up with a pledge to make amends in addition to an apology. Their words alone could never fully convey what they offer themselves as ready to show by constant action. This is a time of cosmic alignment as well as personal validation. Your story supports the general awakening taking place at this pivotal juncture in evolution. Your unwavering commitment to the truth in the face of loneliness exemplifies the spiritual strength needed in these days of growing deceit. You set an example for others going through similar struggles by maintaining your genuine perception in spite of gaslighting. Divine justice moves at its own ideal speed, often seeming slow to the human eye, but always showing up just when it's needed. It fulfills the ultimate function in the universal design, which is why your vindication is manifesting now. This revelation's timing optimizes its transformational power for every soul engaged in this spiritual course. What happened to you was never random, so keep this in mind as you are given the proof that supports your experience. Your personal justice was not the only reason for the violation you experienced, the character assassination you avoided, or the loneliness you faced. The reason you were chosen for this task is that you have a spiritual constitution that can handle the strain needed to bring about this enlightenment. Under this weight, normal souls would have shattered. This pressure would have caused average consciousness to break apart. Ordinary spiritual growth would have given in to this resistance. You survived a process that would have destroyed lesser vessels because of your unique cosmic design. What happened to you is more than just a story or a shared experience, and that is the last reality that needs to be spoken clearly. Because your soul has frequencies necessary for planetary awakening, the cosmic forces bring you into this crucible. The violation you experienced creates the healing codes required at this evolutionary threshold when it is transformed by your special spiritual alchemy. For the group experience, your travel acts as a mirror and a remedy. Individuals who actively or passively took part in the assassination of your character embody archetypal impulses of opposition to ascension. Your journey through this treachery creates quantum channels for other people who are facing comparable soul contracts. When the person comes forward with full proof of your violation and vindication, realize that this is what it really is, the beginning of a sacred timeline that expedites the release of the community from falsehood. The fundamental pressure needed to crystallize new awareness structures that can hold greater frequencies of truth was created by your experience. Keep in mind that the same divine intellect that planned your challenge has also prepared unfathomable blessings that are waiting for you as you proceed in the energy of total vindication. The degree of your suffering dictates the height of your elevation, and the cosmic scales require perfect equilibrium. The things that were taken will be returned sevenfold. The damaged area will be restored using more frequent materials. More spiritually valuable items will replace what was lost. Smell the rarefied air of total spiritual validation. Journey down the hallowed path of someone whose divine appointment has been confirmed by the cosmos. You stand forever in cosmic truth. Thus your truth is eternally validated. Don't just watch. Be part of the journey. Hit subscribe now and step into your purpose. The best is yet to come.